Hi guys, welcome back to Jersey Fam.
Hi guys.
We're gonna do a cruise tips video for you today. It's the top 10 tips for first-time cruisers.
Yep.
Okay? So, I figure let's just get right to the point. This is not only if you're going on the Disney cruise, but any cruise, Royal, Norwegian, any type of cruise. Our number one tip is research your ports in advance. You don't want to go to a country and not know anything about it. You don't want to pull into the Bahamas and not know what there is to do. So you can go on your cruise planner, which most cruise lines offer, and look at different excursions, but you don't really know anything about the area. A lot of times you can, just go and look at stuff yourself. You don't really need to book an excursion.
Very true.
Right? Number 2, don't fly in the day of your cruise. Anything can happen. Literally anything.
That's a bad idea.
Yeah. Especially if you're doing a winter cruise and like winter weather.
It doesn't matter if it's winter, spring, summer, fall. All you need is a bad rainstorm, either where you are, somewhere between where you're trying to go. It doesn't matter.
And you're delayed.
And then the cruise is not going to wait for you.
They're not going to wait for you. So it's not going to happen. You're either going to need to rebook your flights to meet them at the first port or figure something out. I don't know exactly what the options would be at that point. Once they take off, you can meet them at a different port or that's it. Then you're looking at more flight expenses. Number 3. This ties in to number 1, where you should do your research. You can book excursions that are not on your cruise planner. You just need to know outside companies to book them through. A lot of times, the cruise excursions are really, really good. They're thought out by the cruise line. They have a contract with those different excursions. But you can sometimes get them cheaper if you book them not with the cruise line. Now, I have to say this because it's my job and this is what I tell my clients. If you book an excursion outside, like not with the cruise line, then they no longer are responsible for the time you get back to the ship. So if let's say you were on Disney Cruise Line and you booked a excursion through them, Disney would wait for you because they'd be in control of that excursion. If you go to Blue Lagoon and you just go with a different excursion or a guide, you'll see when you get to the port, there's guys selling excursions. They are no longer responsible for the time you come back. So if you are late, you will miss the ship. They will not wait for you.
You don't want to be on that YouTube video.
Yes, you don't want to be the person going, running after the ship where everybody's videotaping you laughing. Like,
oh, man.
Please be on time. So that's another tip. That's just an extra. When you get off the ship, you ask what time it is now, so you know that your clock is correct, your phone, whatever you have, your watch, and then you ask what time you have to be back. That will be in your navigator or somewhere on the paperwork you get, but always ask, because I feel like people legitimately think that the cruise ship will wait for them if they're late. Cruise ship's not going to wait for you. It's not gonna happen.
YouTube it. Right,
yes. It's like a horrible feeling watching people run down to the ship and the ship is like pulling away. It's not a good feeling. I would never want to feel it. Okay, now number 4 is a pet peeve in life, but on a cruise ship, it's a little bit more confined. Do not stand in front of the elevators.
That should go for anywhere you go.
It should go for anywhere. But on a cruise ship where there's limited elevator space and people are literally packing into the elevators, don't stand in front of the door when you know there may or may not be people coming out, because then the doors open and then there's 20 people on the elevator trying to smush past a crowd of people. Stand to the side of the elevators. If everybody just stood to the side, things would be so much more smooth and transitional and just like, it would just be better. Don't you agree?
I agree.
Remember that for life too, not just for cruises. Don't stand in front of the door. I teach my kids that.
Our next cruise tip is, I think it's pretty important. Always wash your hands.
Oh.
All right? Like she said about being confined, you are confined on a ship. There's a lot of people around. People are touching things. Who knows who's sick? And and you're going to be touching the same things those same people are. Either it's the buttons on the elevator, the handrails going up and down the stairs, it doesn't matter. Or the door handles. Wash your hands constantly.
With soap.
Yes.
They have tons of like Purell and stuff on the ships, and it works, but it does not work as well as going into the bathroom and washing your hands with water. Now I know on certain cruise lines, I was on a few ships where they actually have sinks and soap right before you go into the buffet, and they require that you do that. Some cruise lines hand out antibacterial wipes. Norovirus runs rampant on cruise ships because people don't wash their hands, and then they go to the buffet and they touch the food.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that also ties into that. It's like an extra tip. Don't use your hands to pick up bread and apples and all kinds of things that they have on the cruise ship. There's always going to be a utensil for you to pick up whatever it is that you're trying to get from the buffet. If you see somebody doing that, please inform other people of what just happened, because that is a big reason why norovirus spreads throughout a whole cruise ship and the whole ship is sick and everybody's miserable. Wash your hands with soap and water.
Wash them hands.
Yes, please. Because we don't want to get sick.
No.
Ugh. After we just paid a lot of money for a vacation. No.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that. All right, tip number 6. Check your bill before you get off the ship. And that's when you're done with your cruise. All right. The last thing you need is to get home and to check your credit card statement and realize that maybe an extra $500 was charged, and you're gonna wonder what it was. This will help prevent that. You can see what your charges are. Maybe somebody made a mistake and accidentally gave your room number and confused theirs, and you got charged for something that you didn't do. So that, I would say that's definitely important.
Yeah, and definitely check like halfway through the cruise too, just to make sure you're keeping track of your spending. Because nobody wants to just be like, yeah, give me a drink here, a drink there, a drink here, and then by the time you know it, you're $500 in the hole and you didn't plan on doing that. So definitely check every now and then as to what your balance is, so you know how much you're spending. That's yeah.
That's a good recommendation.
Okay, number 7. Pack everything you need for the day, the first day on the cruise ship, in your carry-on. Because those bags might not get to your room, like the bags you pack, might not get into your room until 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So if you're booking Paulo on the Disney cruise for the first night, and you need formal wear, or you need something like dressy to wear, definitely pack it in your carry-on. Don't think that you're gonna have time to change. If you wanna use the pool, wear your bathing suit underneath your clothes. Make it easy on yourself. That bag is important. Like, you need to think about the things that you pack. Don't just put your cell phone in there and your cruise information and think that that's all you're gonna need for the whole day. Unless you're just chill like that. Like, I feel like we're chill like that. We don't care.
Yeah.
I'll show up to Paulo and be like, hey,
we're here.
I don't have any clothes. But if you need something like medication, what else like an inhaler, anything that's important for you to have at a certain time, pack it in your bag, because it's no guarantee that they're gonna show up there at a certain time.
They'll get there.
Yeah.
But
if there's a problem
you don't
too,
know when the time
like
is,
let's say there's something in your bag that they can't identify through the x-ray, and then they gotta put it aside, then they have to open it up. That all takes time, and it takes time for them to check it. So it might not get checked right away to where it's just going straight through the line like at TSA. It's not like that. So just important to remember.
Agreed.
Number 8, get the travel insurance.
Agreed, 100%.
Yes, always get the travel insurance. Let's say you're on a cruise ship and you have a heart attack and they have to life flight you to the nearest hospital. I don't think people realize exactly how much money a life flight or a hospital bill can cost them in a different country.
Your insurance may not cover...
May not, and you know
what? It
may
cover a little bit, it may cover none.
Think about how much a regular medical bill here is in the US. if you have like $100,000 charge, let's say you something really horrible happened to you on the cruise, God forbid, and you had to be life flighted to a place where they could help you, that's $100,000 medical bill. You can go bankrupt from that.
Yeah. The helicopter, I think, is like $30,000 just for the helicopter life flight.
Right.
So
I always recommend getting the travel insurance. How much was our travel insurance for our cruise? Maybe like $200.
$200, something
yeah,
like
I think
that.
it was like two something. So I'm paying two something up front.
And that was through the cruise line.
That was through the cruise line. I'm paying two something up front. So that way, if something happens to me, I don't get this giant bill. My travel insurance will cover it, or cover most of it.
Yeah.
So
that's another thing too. When you're looking for travel insurance, make sure you see what the coverages are and how much it'll cover, and make sure you get something that is worth it.
Yes, and you can book travel insurance through other insurance companies. You don't have to go through the cruise. Usually I find that the cruise ship's travel insurance is just, it's good. Like, it's not anything that's like, you know, oh, I need to go shopping elsewhere, but some people like to do that. Right.
Yeah, you don't want to go too cheap on travel insurance either. 'Cause like I said,
because you want to have that coverage, that good coverage.
Yeah.
Because if you're paying $50 and it only covers $10,000 in medical expenses, that's not going to be enough if something happens to you on vacation.
Yeah, and let's hope you never have to use it.
Yes. But it's best to have that safety net than have to lose your house or your car because you can't afford to pay.
All right. Travel tip number 9. Don't let the little things bug you. You want to
Praise Jesus! Oh, you don't want to?
I don't even know what to say.
Okay. So I find this a lot because I'm in the travel industry. It's like people always let the littlest things bother them and ruin their whole vacation. See, you paid X amount of dollars to come on this cruise or wherever you are. This doesn't only go for cruises. And let's say your bag doesn't get to your room until 8 o'clock at night. And you're gonna let that ruin your entire vacation. I have people complain and say, oh, this is the worst vacation of my life. They didn't have this and I didn't have this. And I'm just like, these are all things that are just temporary issues or first world issues. Things that can be solved. Cruise lines want you to have a good time. They want to please you. Use your guest services. Use the customer service on the ship to your advantage. Go talk to somebody. Be nice, because that's very important. I don't ever want to tell somebody to go to guest services and be rude, because they're not going to help you. Like, they're going to help you, but they're not going to help you.
Yep.
You get more with sugar than you do with spice. That's basically how I would put it. Don't let somebody tripping you off the elevator or, you know, I don't know, bumping into you by the pool create this giant issue. You're on vacation. You paid a lot of money. Enjoy your vacation. Let all the stuff slide that doesn't go the right way.
There's always something...
right. There's always an aggravation or an inconvenience.
But you just gotta learn to let it go and just enjoy yourself.
Number 10, make 2 copies of all your identification, whether that's your passport, your cruise documents, everything, all those important pieces of paperwork that you need to prove who you are and that you belong on the cruise ship. Make 2 copies, put them in a folder, throw them in your carry-on, you're good to go. This is just so that way, if you lose your passport or you lose your license, you can still prove who you are and where you belong. Now, does that mean they're just gonna let you on the ship with a photocopy? No, but it's gonna help you when you need to make a police report for your passport because you lost it. Now they have that copy of your passport, and it's gonna help move things along faster for you.
Yep.
Yeah. That was number 10. So that's it.
That's our top 10 cruise tips. So, for first timers. Some are life tips.
Some are life tips.
Always wash your hands. And don't stand in front of the elevator.
I'm watching you.
It's rude.
It's rude. Don't do it. Okay. Thanks guys so much for watching. Subscribe and give us a like to let us know you're here. We have more videos coming your way. Everybody have a good night. Bye.
Bye guys.